Yo, yo, yo. What is up, y'all? It's the
Boys are
return.
back.
That's right. Brown and Orange Weekly. Back in the building again.
Yes, sir. How is
I am,
everybody doing?
that's right. I'm your co-host, Clarence Wilson. With me as always is the man, that dude, my guy, Dean Samples. Dean was
Oh,
shaking.
another day, man. Another day. Getting closer to Browns football, and I am excited, man.
We got
It's coming around that time where the anticipation and excitement is starting to slowly creep up.
we got some voluntary stuff going on now. We've
Yep.
got
Boys showed up to the team facility today.
mm-hmm.
That's exciting. It's good to see the guys show up.
A
Man,
little news came out of that today that we'll get into.
yeah.
Um, we got draft still coming up, and we are all still as confused as hell as to what the Browns are going to do with pick number 74.
Yeah.
Um, it's gonna be wild having to wait that long and then mess around and trade back.
It's weird, man. It's weird. But we have
Ah,
a we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. The guys are back together. Voluntary workouts have begun. Um, we got some news with Myles Garrett, Greg Newsome,
cool.
stadium being rebuilt, possibly the Browns having to play elsewhere for a few seasons. We're going to get into that. But first and foremost, we want to send out our condolences to Chris Smith, former Browns player, to him and his family. Unfortunately, the news broke today that he passed away at the young age of 31 years old. He played for 7 teams in his career. He was drafted in 2014, most notably the Browns and the Jaguars. I liked him in his short tenure here. He seemed like a stand-up guy, and from what everyone's saying that knew him in the league can agree as well. He was a current player for the XFL and the Seattle Sea Dragons. Just sad news. There's no news on what his cause of death was, but either way, it's sad news. So condolences to his family and loved ones.
Absolutely. I mean, the last time we really heard about him was when his girlfriend
Yeah,
um, had passed away while he was actually on the team with the Browns. So yeah, shout condolences to his family, his friends, loved ones. Um, Never want to see a member of the Browns family uh hurt, injured, but when
yeah,
somebody dies, it's just like makes you realize life is short.
right.
31 years, 31 years old, man.
Yep. I mean, regardless of what you may think of the guy, he did play for the Browns, but more importantly, he's a human being, and it's bigger than a game. And you hate to see somebody lose their life, especially at a young age, at the age of 31. So
So
sad news. But yeah, condolences to the family.
absolutely.
So,
Um,
what do you
let's
want to
get
get?
into this news today. Let's get
Yeah,
into some
man.
some of the news today. Voluntary camp. I guess the first thing I want to touch on is the Newsom thing. Um, Came out straight up said I never wanted to be here. He was mad that report was even put out there. The person who issued the report put out an apology a few days ago. Um,
I
watch your
mean, he
sources on Twitter, man.
he was getting drilled. The guy that
Yeah,
broke the news.
but this ain't the first time he's broke some BS news.
Yeah,
So watch your sources on Twitter. Watch the people you follow. Like we're gonna give it to you straight. We ain't gonna talk about stuff that we think we know as far as oh well this and that. Just watch your sources on Twitter. That's
Reckless speculation.
That's right. That's right. Out here just wilding.
But yeah, he came out today and basically said he don't know, people don't really realize how much Cleveland means to him. He loves it here. He wants to finish his career here. He wants to be one of those guys that starts and finishes his career in one spot. And he hopes he's here for the long haul. So that clears up any speculation that he requested a trade or wants out or anything like that. I'm glad to see that. Greg Newsome, obviously, you all know, super talented. Definitely a bright future ahead of him in this league. So I'm glad to
He
hear
also
that.
came out and said all that talk about him not wanting to be in the slot. He said that's last year's news. So hopefully that's all behind him as well.
Yeah.
And
I mean, maybe there was some truth behind that, but
yeah,
there's a new regime in that defensive side. So
yeah.
we'll
For
see
the
what happens.
article on Cleveland.com, yeah, he said he's very excited. He thinks the way that Jim Schwartz uses the defensive line is going to really help out the corners. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We're going to see. We're
Only
going to
time
find
will
out
tell,
very
man.
soon.
We're getting closer and closer.
That's right. Um, Another thing that came out, I was a little shocked. Uh, Coop,
Yeah.
Amari Cooper. So he had a core surgery this off season.
Yeah. In February.
Yeah, but said he's ready to go and be able to work with Watson. But I kind of like it not knowing about these things because this is this guy's medical history and health. Like we really shouldn't know about these things anyway. Like there's a
Right.
HIPAA law.
True.
So
Plus,
you know,
like the way media is.
mhm.
I mean, minor surgeries and stuff like that, I'd want to keep hush as well. But he says everything's good. He's ready to rock, which is good to hear. Uh, we heard from Watson too. He said it's basically like night and day from where he was last year and the whole vibe basically here. So I don't know if that makes you feel any better about the progression or you, those are just words to you. Basically, you want to see action. Just shut
Yep,
up and
because
show me what you play.
that's what I'm talking about. Because at this point, here shortly, once camp starts, how many times are you going to hear, "Oh, this guy's came in the best shape of his life"? And all this, like, I just show me now, man. Like, I'm glad he feels better. Um, I'm absolutely glad he feels better. I'm glad he feels that he's kind of finding his place um and
Which
that it is night and day from last year.
which I told you, just give the man some time. He'll come
Listen,
around. Power
I wanted that.
positivity, my man.
I wanted to draft him, and we screwed it up. And now, like I said, we said that I kind of said this at the end of last year. We both said it. I hate the part that he plays 6 games and then it's done, and then he's back to off season again. So again, we're back to the point where ain't nobody touching him in practice. He ain't getting hit. He's not, seeing things in full speed most of the time, probably at any point. So I just want to see him on the field. I just want to see
Yeah.
him on the field, and I want to see him perform.
Now, when it comes to training camp time, and I know we have we're gonna have some split practices and whatnot. Do you think the Browns need to limit how much contact he gets coming into his first full season as a Browns starting quarterback?
I mean, probably.
It's a big
The
investment.
quarterbacks wear the red jersey or the orange jersey anyways. Notified can't nobody touch him anyway. So, but I mean, I also feel like he needs to feel the pressure. He needs to. I think a lot of times in any sport, like the adrenaline is what makes you do those extraordinary things. It's a whole lot different in practice when he has guys coming at him when he knows he can't get hit, as opposed to week one of the season when it's live and dudes are coming to kill him. So I'd like to see a little bit of pressure put on him, but obviously the season is riding on him being back at 100%. So
I'm confident he will. He said Browns fans should be excited for what's to come. So can't help but get excited, man. I cannot help but get excited. I'm confident things are going to be different. he just needed to get that rust off. And I think those final 6 games and the offseason to be able to build relationship with his receivers and offensive line and his teammates is going to be huge because he didn't really have that opportunity because he wasn't able to be around them basically during his suspension. So I think that was very, very beneficial for him this offseason to get that in those game reps towards the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, yeah, so I'm happy the all the fellas are back there getting in their voluntary work, building that camaraderie. Hopefully, uh, he's hopefully building something with the receivers as far as a connection and uh, as far as just the little things like, hey, you know what, on this play, if we're going to run this way and their defense comes at us like this, I'm like, there's 3 options on this, and they figure out what their options are and get their hand signals, whatever else they got to do. That's what I think this is really going to be good for. Um, in other news, the that place right behind you, they're talking about knocking it down and building a new one, or I also heard upgrades.
Massive upgrades.
Yeah.
Uh, the,
Um,
they're expected to announce it next week, I believe, from what the report's saying. But the big news is it's going to take some time. So it's going to require the Browns to play elsewhere for several seasons. What are your thoughts on that? There's been rumors of Columbus, knowing that the Haslams have stake with the Columbus Crew. Um, could it be the Horseshoe? I don't know how big the Columbus Crew Stadium is and if its
I can't
size
imagine.
can accommodate a football field.
Yeah, I
I'm not a
can't.
soccer guy. I don't know the length of the field and all that shit, but
I can't imagine that stadium seats. I'm sorry, I've been looking up, but I don't have my computer, y'all. I can imagine that stadium seats more than 17,000 is what I would think, if that.
for the Columbus Crew,
Yeah, if that. Like, I would probably guess it seats 12 to 15 max, but I could be way off.
let me see here. Let me see. But what are your thoughts on that? Like me as a season ticket holder, I'm already having like ill feelings about them. They've hiked up the price of the season tickets several times in the past few years. It seems like we're getting gypped on a damn home game because they're not offering tickets to the Hall of Fame game. That's a preseason
Mhm.
game, which is horse shit, in my opinion. Especially when it's right down the damn road in Canton.
Yes, sir.
Like the least you can do is hook your people up or knock some money off that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
something to accommodate that because we're losing a game. We're missing
Hmm.
a game. We're paying so much damn money for it. My only concern is if they do to go to Columbus, obviously I'm not going to be traveling to Columbus every couple times every Sunday to go watch them play. I'm sure a lot of season ticket holders aren't going to do that.
Hmm.
Um, I'm just my concern is when the rebuild or whatever the hell they're going to do with the stadium is completed. Do I have an opportunity to have my same exact seats that I've had since 1999 back? That's my only concern.
From what I've read just online, I feel like you will.
I would hope so because that'd be horseshit. And I guarantee
Yeah,
once it's all done, they're going to hike the price back up, which
of
is
course, of course. My whole thing is, you know what? If you want to do the rebuilds, if you want to do like some upgrades, then start now. Like start now, get it going, make the place usable during the season.
if
I
you're
mean,
not
you're basically only using it one Sunday for 8 times a year.
if you're going to knock
You
the
know,
damn thing down, put a dome on there first and
yeah,
foremost.
yeah,
If you're gonna restart it, come on.
yeah. But my whole thing is, you know what? I'm not. I'm all for a new stadium if that's what they want to do. I live in Cuyahoga County. I'm not trying to pay for it. I don't
Right.
want. You know what? This man. I put this out on Twitter. I am not want to tell somebody what to do with their money. You made that money. You do what you got to do. I get it. Until it affects my money.
Once
So
you try zipping in my pockets, then we're gonna have some
yeah,
problem.
yes, and that's where I'm at. And if he wanted a new stadium, And again, I'm not trying to tell people to do with their money, but if he want a new stadium, he didn't have to buy 25% of the Bucks. So it's I just don't want not one penny. I guess yeah, I'll give a penny, but I don't want more than that coming out of my pay.
I agree, man. I live in Cuyahoga County too. I'm about 5 minutes
Yeah,
from the stadium.
yeah. I'm not really with it if that's the route that they want to go. Like, I don't really think the taxpayers should be footing the bill for a new stadium. The stadium is only
25 years
20,
old, 24 years old.
24 years old. Yeah, it's not like we got um
I guess
Lambo here.
is it outdated compared to newer stadiums? Sure.
Sure.
But look at Soldier Field in Chicago.
That's what I'm
They're
saying.
like
Lambeau, Soldier Field, like all these old stadiums. Like I'm not. First off, I don't go to the games to for the amenities. I guess on the rare occasion that I have a friend who will set me up with a suite ticket or club level or something like that. Cool, but like normally you're a season ticket holder. You're down in front. Like normally I've sat all over that stadium. I'm not there for the amenities. I'm there to watch football. And most of the time,
I'm here
I'm
for
not
football
watching.
and heartbreaks, man.
Yeah, yeah. And most of the time, I'm not getting what I paid for on the football field. So why the hell
No,
am I going to pay more for a new stadium?
right. That's why I'm still pissed. Like they legit raised the damn thing 5 times at least in the last 10 years. And what
Mm-hmm.
the hell have you given us as far as the
Nothing.
product on the field?
Nothing. One good season.
Yeah, one. Ooh, greedy fucks.
Yeah, man. Like I'm not with it. They've literally given the fans one good season. Um,
I've had people bark at me on Twitter like, "Well, what do you expect? It needs to be upgraded." Well, I get that, dude. It's just,
does it though? Like,
I mean,
I mean, I
yes,
get.
they prematurely kind of threw this damn stadium together,
Yeah.
even though they had plenty of years to fucking plan it out. I mean, they were out of the league for what, 4 years?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not our fault they dragged their ass, but I mean, considering where the location is, right directly on the lake, and how the stadium is set up, kind of shitty.
Yeah.
During the summer, I mean, wintertime, it gets cold as shit.
Yeah.
I've been there with like 3 layers, bro, and left by
Me too.
halftime because I'm just like, there ain't enough jack in that damn stadium to keep me warm.
No, not
I'm
at not
good.
at $25 for a double.
No, then
Um,
you ain't lying, dude.
every time I go there, I'm like,
That's something
I,
grinds my
I, I, bought,
gears.
I bought half the bottle on my one drink.
It's insane, right? It's insane. Fuck, $13 for a damn beer.
Nah, yeah, I guess for me, and I think we agree. Like, if they had done something on the field or something like that, like I would be more apt to be like, okay, but it's been bad football. Um,
Bad football since '99, basically.
yeah, yeah, it's been bad football from the jump, pretty much for the most part. Outside of what, 2 seasons, 3 seasons at most.
Yeah.
Um,
What I can think of, obviously, the one where we made the playoffs with Baker,
yeah,
and
O
then
two, O two when we made the playoffs with Butch.
you know,
Then season of dreams. What was that? 07 where we didn't make the playoffs but went 10-6.
yep, that's it, really.
But I mean, that's it.
I remember that after the game, I stayed in the stadium in my seats for like 30 minutes and watched the end of the was it the Falcons game?
Yeah, I think it was.
So we needed them to lose for us to get in, and a lot of the fans stayed in and watched it on the big screen. I remember the
Yeah.
guy. I mean, had a little too much to drink when we found out we got in. I I was talking to my dude and I was giving him rib shots. I don't know why I was punching him in the ribs, but I was just so excited. So yeah, that was an exciting time. But
But yeah, that's
yeah,
that's that's what they've given us. 3 seasons.
since
And
1999, and you guys want to keep raising the prices for what? Give us a freaking break here. We show out every game every year for you guys. Like, show us some damn love. Suck it up and take it down the chin. We deserve it,
You know, they
greedy bastards.
back in my day, you didn't get something new unless you earned it.
Same
I
here.
don't feel like we've earned
Hell no.
it.
Hell no.
But we'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm down for a new stadium with a roof. So then they can put Final Fours and WrestleManias and Super Bowls
Could you
and
imagine a
all that good
WrestleMania
stuff.
in Cleveland or a Super Bowl in Cleveland? Man, how much money that would generate to the city.
Yeah,
If I was a city
yeah.
and they said we're gonna knock it down and rebuild it, I would tell them like you better put a roof on that damn thing because
Mhm.
help me help you. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna allow you to do this. You better put that dome on there because that can bring more revenue to the city.
Yeah. But then as well, then you also got to think about the businesses down there on Sundays who make a killing. You knock that stadium down and have them play somewhere else. That's obviously going to impact the city for however many years that takes. Like
Figure out a parking situation too. I'm tired of paying 50, $60 to park down there. That's insane.
mm, well, this whole land bridge. I mean, that all this shit looks cool, but I'm like, yeah, if you just go over East Ninth, like that's a bridge that it connects downtown to the lakefront.
It's right there.
It's there. So, uh, but yeah, I think we kind of agree that we would like a new stadium, but neither one of us want to pay for it because we are in Cuyahoga County, and that's why people who are outside of Cuyahoga County that are yelling for this. I don't want to hear your take. It's not the only way it's going to affect you is the 3 times you come downtown a year. It's not like you don't live in Cuyahoga County, so it's not going to affect your pocket. Um, I'm downtown. I'm not as downtown as much as I was pre-pandemic, but I'm downtown enough, and living in Cuyahoga County, I just don't want to pay for it. He,
Absolutely. I don't
he can
either.
buy he can buy the Bucks. He can fork over that dough for that stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So, um,
So I'm looking up here. It says the crew played their first 3 seasons at Ohio Stadium on the campus of Ohio State. Oh, okay. Never mind.
what's it
I,
say
I
there?
didn't
What's it
read the
say there?
first part. When they went to their normal stadium, it's not that much. It's like 25, 30,000, I think.
It's even that big. I'm kind of shocked at that.
Well, from 2015 to 2021, their capacity for the stadium was 19,000.
That's still a lot though. Like that's bigger than Jacobs Field. Excuse me. Because I thought Progressive held like 18,000 or something like that.
Shoe holds over what? Over 100,000, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Shoe's big as fuck. Is the big house and meat chicken bigger?
I think
I'm not going to say a team up
I,
north.
they're at least 6 figures. They might have the biggest one for sure, but I think both Ohio State and both have over 100,000 seat stadiums. So
Well, good for them. They still suck.
I win money every time. Anytime Ohio State's playing a big game, I
I
bet
bet
against them,
you.
win money.
Oh, you. I bet you do. I forgot you hate them.
No, there's no such thing.
You're probably a closet Wolverines fan, aren't you?
Nah, I no, because they ain't shit. They just got
All
lucky these
right.
last 2 years. They've been getting a mud hole stomped in their ass for the last.
It's okay that you're not a Buckeyes fan, but as long as you acknowledge that Michigan ain't shit, we
I ain't
cool.
shit.
We
Ain't
cool.
shit.
Same thing goes for you, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh. I know I might be taking a trip to Pittsburgh this summer.
You see those bums picked up Allen Robinson?
Yeah, and it blows my mind because they said he went for what, a seventh, and the Rams are picking up like 10 million of his contract, and the Steelers are picking up 5. Like I
I
feel
feel
like at
sorry
that
for the Rams
point,
for taking that on because he was ass.
yeah, he was terrible.
And
But
as a fantasy football player, I drafted him with high hopes that things would work out more because I don't know. He even let me down this last year in Chicago too. I don't know why I
Well,
just have so much faith in him, but
but he had shit play. He had shit QB play before.
yeah.
So it's I think everybody thought you get him with a decent QB, he'll be all right. Well,
Well, good luck with that, Pittsburgh. Because
yeah. Uh,
well, this is the Browns show. We need to talk about those bumps. Anyways,
did you say I'm a little behind on the news today. I've been at soccer practices and all this stuff all day. Did you say that Miles said he retired from the Pro Bowl?
yes, because he dislocated his big toe
Yeah,
on the obstacle course, so he's
yeah.
done with that.
Good, thank you. Don't need it. Just take the honor and whatever salary bump you get out of making it, and stay at home.
Yeah, I would do the same exact thing.
The guy we've been asking about forever finally signed, Marquise Goodwin.
Yes, finally. I don't care what took so long. I'm just glad it finally was announced. It was finalized. Marquise Goodwin is finally officially a Cleveland Browns. So
So that gives us who? That gives us Coop.
cool.
That gives us
DPJ,
Elijah Moore, DPJ,
Goodwin,
Goodwin,
David Bell.
um, probably, and Anthony Schwartz.
I
I'm your biggest supporter, Anthony. Track stars, we gotta stick together, even though I wasn't a star, but still.
heard people like sitting there like when they tweeted that out, the official signing of him. People were like, "We already got Schwartz. What do we need another speedy guy for?" I'm like, "Oh my god! Like, why are we even having this? Why is this conversation even happening? You're legitimately comparing Anthony Schwartz to Marquise Goodwin?"
That's because people literally just look at, oh, he's fast, and these are the people. I'm like, did you watch a game last year? Did you watch any football last year? Because
Really not.
granted, I don't like the way that they used him, but he clearly struggles with catching the ball. But hey, on one of his last plays, that on that fumble on that reverse, hey, he ran 15 yards before he fumbled. So let's
Give him that.
yeah, because he was fast. But yeah, it looks like the Browns are finally they're rounding out. We're still everybody's still kind of in the dark about what they're going to do. With the draft pick, kind of what we talked about earlier. Would you be shocked if there was if they went wide out with that third pick? And then
No,
everybody, basically all those other wideouts like Woods. Well, Woods is actually he's hurt. He's
we had
he's
2/3, right? Yes, we have two
yes,
thirds.
yeah.
We have the 11th pick in the third round and the 35th. 74 and 98 overall. I mean, if they grabbed a wideout, but also grabbed a defensive tackle or a linebacker, sure, whatever. As long as you use one of those thirds with for either a linebacker or DT, I think I'll be happy. It's just so hard 'cause you don't know who's going to drop that low. I don't know who's going to be available, and I don't have the time right now to look into who could potentially be there. It's just so late in the draft. This is like I'm so not used to waiting this long for a draft.
No, no, that's the
Um,
thing.
I probably should see that we're both in a dynasty draft for so we're going to be having that cup. Um,
That's true. That is very true. I don't know. I feel
how do you
like
feel?
I feel like the one position they really have not addressed is linebacker. But is there a guy like I've read some list of linebackers that are draft eligible, and I don't know, man. Without having really seen these guys, you can read numbers you can read numbers and stats and everything all day. But I mean, there's what is there 120 plus teams in college football, and they're playing 11 games a year. And depending on the conference they're playing in, are they playing anybody good, or are they just big fish in a little pond? Um, I would like to see them do something at linebacker, but I'll say it again and I'll keep saying it. They need to get a thumper. They need to get somebody who will lay the wood on somebody. Um, I think we're good on this on the small, fast coverage type guys.
I agree.
I just want that thumper. I don't know who that is yet, but you figure
All
it's
right.
Andrew Bates, so he's probably taking somebody from the SEC.
If a stud wide receiver that was projected to be like a first or second rounder kind of drops that far down for whatever reason he's there, I guess grab him, and I'll probably get a lot of heat for this. But um, if not, I still think they'll take a wide receiver at some point in this draft. I really do. I'm hoping it's not a third round or a fourth round, but I really think their main focus should be linebacker and defensive tackle with the early picks.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Unless
I,
there's an absolute stud there that we've all seen it before. There's people that were expected to draft high and just miraculously falls.
mhm.
It doesn't happen all the time, but you never know. Anything can happen on draft day. They know shit we don't know. And I mean, like I said, I'm not a big draft guy. I've tried getting into it over the years. It's a lot of work and a lot of time. I don't have the time or patience to go into it. I have all the respect for the guys that take all that time to study all these players and do their mock drafts and you know what I'm saying, like study every individual guy. It's crazy because there's so many people involved in the draft, and it's just I don't have the time. I'm a dad. I got you know what I'm saying, like it is what it is.
I
I'm not
still
shitting on it. It's just it's not my thing. So
NBA draft is more my thing. Two
yeah,
rounds. I can pick out some guys, but and I've actually been able to see a lot of the guys in the NBA that are coming into the NBA play. Whereas in college football, I mean, if you can play, they'll find you, which means they're looking at the small schools and a lot of places where, quite frankly, like I don't have access to any kind of tape. So basically, all you're getting to watch is 15 to 30 seconds of highlights on a guy and be like, "Ooh,"
right.
and you got to make up your thoughts based on a guy based on that 15 30 seconds, which that's just not really a way to make an evaluation on a player.
No. Other than that, like I know the big stars that were in Heisman talk, you know what I'm saying? Like they're expected to be the top 10. I know those guys, and then people from the Buckeyes who I follow religiously who's entering the draft. Like other than that, I don't have the time or patience or desire to even get into that.
Yeah,
Say what you
well,
will
especially
about me.
this.
Judge me if you want. It is what it is.
Well, I mean, I feel like we know about probably the top 30 to 60 players, but we're drafting at 74. So,
Exactly. Yeah, we're drafting
uh,
74, 98. And then we
yeah,
have two fourth rounders, two fifth rounders, a sixth and a seventh.
I doubt. See, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I guess maybe they didn't want to pay Robinson, but I mean, you could clear up your wide receiver spot real quick by dropping one of them seventh years. So you could have gave him two sevens or some shit like that.
I would be almost willing to bet that with these 8 picks, there's
They
gonna
ain't
be at
using
least
that.
one wide out, yeah, one wide out and one running back taken.
Yeah,
I
but I feel
wouldn't
like
even
they're
be
not going to do
surprised if
that.
their quarterback got taken,
I wouldn't be shocked.
just to
But
give some extra.
but do you feel like they're going to use all eight? I feel like they're not. I feel like they're gonna use some of this to try and get. I mean, let's be frank. They got to recoup some picks. They've missed out on talent these last few
Yeah.
years because of the watch and trade.
So
So
unless like I said, that's why I think like if there's a stud there, grab him and then build him, have him sit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can use him as trade bait. Something. I don't know.
yeah. Um, last point I kind of wanted to get into. I'm hearing a lot on these possibly being the last 2 years of Nick Chubb in a Browns uniform. Um, we've all seen the way that that running backs have been kind of devalued over the last 20 years. You will never see a Herschel Walker slash Ricky Williams type trade ever again, where teams are giving up their entire draft for a running back. It'll never happen again. Never.
And it's unfortunate, but it's just the way the game has evolved.
Yeah, they get guys in, they run the treads off of them, and move on. That's why you got all these guys that you've never heard of, or guys that you have heard of that are going in the third, fourth round because teams know they're going to go go by committee, or basically most teams are going to try and run some type of committee. Um, I'm not Nick Chubb to me is the heart soul of the squad.
I agree.
Um, again, you had a lot of the Twitter experts pushing this narrative. Um, I don't. I feel like there's too much going on where they're putting everything on Deshaun Watson. And granted, like we said it a million times, this season definitely depends on him. Hell, the next 3 seasons depend on him, but especially this one for him to get back and get right. But I feel like people are acting like this dude is gonna save the franchise and we don't need a running game or something like that. And I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I don't
What's your
either.
thoughts?
I don't like that either, and I agree. But I don't know, dude. We're obviously not using Chubb like we should. So, but at the same time, maybe that can prolong his career.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when we re-signed him, I kind of was weary and kind of mentally preparing myself that this could, once this deal's done, it could be the end of Chubb in a Browns uniform, just because of the landscape of running backs in the league. It's just the they don't last very long. They really don't. But Chubb is a special player, and it pisses me off how much disrespect he gets from like I've seen ESPN Fantasy putting out their top 10 running backs. Nick Chubb's not even in the top 10. I mean, from a fantasy standpoint, I guess if that's what they're basing that off of, because we barely use him, he wasn't really a big, huge fantasy guy. But still, it's just he's just constantly being slept on. I feel like whether it's MVP, I mean not MVP, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's top running back in the league, and like I said, fans are out here.
You can rely on Watson, but also you have the best running back in the league. Yes, I said the best running back in the league because he
I agree.
fucking is.
I agree. What about balance though? Don't you? What happened to
Right.
balance? Like,
And that's what pisses me off. Like, balance it. You know what I'm saying? Just like you said, balance. But no, we stick to one game plan. It's either we're passing the ball one game or we're just going to stick to the running game. It's no like we're so damn predictable. And I now hope this year something changes. I doubt it because it's been the same bullshit every year. We're so damn predictable. No matter who our coach is, no matter what kind of offense we run, it's the same shit year in and year out on how we like the sort of game plan. It's so predictable and it's mind boggling to me. Balance is
yeah,
huge. And you can still get the best out of Watson in the pass game and still make Chubb look like the star that he is.
exactly, exactly.
Let that man eat. You can still like
He they Chubb can make Watson's life easier.
I'm getting too
Watson can make
angry.
Chubb's life easier. They can they
Shit
can
pissing me off.
they can both make each other's lives easier. So I'm hoping that he's a Browns lifer, and this is the year that like he actually has. He had the one solid year with Baker, or sorry, I should say Baker had the one solid year with Chubb. Um, so you can see that it'll work.
Mhm.
It just gotta tinker with the offense, I guess. I'm hearing they're going to run a lot out of shotgun and whatnot, and um, I don't know. I feel like there's a whole lot being placed on Watson, and in turn, that's going to push other players and their production to the back. And
I'm
I
saying,
feel like
like,
that's not the way to go.
how many times did we see it was like 3rd and 2 and Chubb's not even on the fucking field? It's like,
Too many.
why? Why is he not on the field? Even if you're not going to fucking let him run the ball, at least have him on there to make the fucking defense think that you're going to run the ball.
Don't get me started on Stefanski. Don't get me started on
Like
Stefanski.
I just said, I'm getting too angry just talking about this. The fucking. Oh, I hate that they're not letting Chubb reach his full potential. It pisses me off. They
I
already
agree.
dropped. I'm forever going to be heated about how they dropped the ball with Hunt and Chubb as the duo. Fucking completely dropped the ball. Could have been easily could have been one of the best running back duos in recent history if they would have
Could have
fucking used them right.
they could have been on some
Sorry for my language.
they could have been on some Biner Mac type stuff going on.
Exactly.
But
Why wouldn't you design a package to have them both featured on the field at the same time? Defense would be like, oh shit, what are we doing here?
mhm. But that's all news. We're back. It's 2020, it's 2023. Browns voluntary camp has started. Means we're inching closer to the season.
Yep.
We got anything else for the people today?
No, that's it, man. We just wanted to keep it quick and like I said, leading up to the draft, there's not too much going to be coming out. We all know that. As the draft gets closer, hopefully we'll get a kind of an idea where they're going to be going. I doubt it, but yeah.
Maybe next week we'll do a tad bit. I'll do a tad bit of research on some projected third rounders.
You want to do that? We'll pick a couple.
Yeah,
What do
just
you
kind
think?
of
Three, four
yeah.
people?
I'm sure we each pick three people, and by the time the draft rolls around, they'll be gone well before the Browns pick. But
I'll do that for the people. I'll do
yeah,
that. I'll do some
yeah,
research.
yeah. We hit up with like each of us pick three players that we might see them going with.
I dig it.
Y'all remember Believeland Media LLC? We got y'all covered from Guardians of the CLE, who's got some big news coming soon.
Huge news. Shout out to Guardians of the CLE.
Yep, Mel and James, y'all still
Killing it.
killing the game.
All Things Cavaliers is back. They had a
That's
debut
right.
show. They're actually up by 20 points right now against the Knicks in round 2 of the playoffs. Loving it.
Yes.
Shout out to the Cavs. If you're into
Go check
wrestling,
out that. Yeah, go check out that new episode. I actually tomorrow during work I will be listening to the new ATC All Things Cavalier. Get your wrestling on with my man Dean and Mike, Pile Driver Pod.
yeah, we cover most of like WWL big stuff, but a lot of local independent wrestling. So if you're into that, give us a follow. We've got some other things in the works. If you guys don't hop on the Believe the Media train right now, you guys miss out because we're taking over, man. It's only going to begin. So give everybody a follow. Follow the YouTube channel. I believe we're still giving away a damn autographed Joe Thomas helmet. I don't know why that goal hasn't reached yet. Like, do not. It's pretty damn simple. Go to YouTube, hit subscribe to the Believe in Media page, and you're entered for an autographed Joe Thomas helmet. Dude's getting ducked to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
The GOAT.
Who likes free autographs?
Right. Especially a man of that caliber. So
Right.
get your ass over to YouTube, hit subscribe, do it.
You can also subscribe on the Twitter page too. You can be entered right there too.
Exactly. If you go to Believe in Media's Twitter page, it's pinned right there. Follow the directions. It's very simple. And take 2 minutes, if that, and you're entered for a free autographed helmet from the man himself. So go ahead and do that. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Go to Spotify, Apple. Give us a like, download. It helps us out so much.
Yeah. And let us know on the Twitter page. Let us know if there's something you want to talk about, or if there's something that we say that you disagree with, or whatever. Let us know. Let us know. We love interacting with y'all on our Twitter page. Um, any anything that you would like to hear about, anything that you want to say, anything you disagree with, or if you just want to say, man, fuck y'all suck. Man, let me know.
If
Let
you
me know.
want to come on and chat with us, we'll bring you
Yeah.
on. Okay, have some fun.
Yeah. We'll bring you on.
We ain't your typical Browns show.
Nah,
So
nah.
we appreciate you guys. We'll be back next week. We're gonna pick 3 potential third round picks. We're gonna break them down and give you our who we'd like to see or maybe think that the Browns could go after in that third round when our picks finally come. So until then, Clarence, you know what time it is.
Wow.
Did you ever think of that one you forgot last week?
No, hell no. Completely forgot it. Completely forgot it. But in the words of y'all know, I'll be coming up with new words once the season starts or we get closer. We're gonna get some new adjectives. But in my world, he's always immortal. So in the words of the immortal Frederick Kitchens, if you don't wear brown and orange,
You don't matter.
you
See you
don't
next
matter.
week, y'all.